Hey everybody, I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and once I tell you what it's about, you're gonna be like, what, why? But my husband has been working very hard for the last several weeks, with some small help from our son, uh, to build a bat house for the farm, and there it is. It is, I don't know the exact dimensions of it. It's pretty big. It has four like slats inside of it, that have the gouged ridges, vertical or horizontal ridges into them for the bats to kind of hang on to with their little claws. And it is on the south, or the south side of our 5-bay shed, and so to build it, he made the box, and then there's there's one vent at the bottom, and put the four vertical slats inside that have the horizontal gouges in them for the bats to hang on to, and it has a little thing that hangs down so the bats can like grab onto that and go up inside. It's on the south side because it needs to stay warm, and it's as well as the reason it's also painted black for that same reason, because it needs to stay insulated and stay warm. And there's the vent on the bottom. There's also holes towards the top in between each layer, I guess you could say, so that the bats can like kind of crawl in between each layer, and move around in there. And it's at least, let's say, they're supposed to be at least 12 feet off the ground. I think it's a little bit more than that. It's up as high as we could get it on the 5-bay. And so we built this, the royal we built this because we have a lot of bugs, and we wanted to have like a natural way to, mitigate the mosquito population, and also to help out the bat population, because bats in this, I think all over the world essentially, have the that white nose fungus that is just kind of decimating bat populations. And so we wanted to build this house to encourage them to be here on our property, and also to help out bat populations in general. And this bat house, I'd have to ask my husband what the dimensions are, and I meant to before I did this video, but I forgot. But it's probably at least 2 feet by, it's probably like 2 by 3, I would say, 3 or 3.5, something like that. And it theoretically could hold, probably, my husband said, thousands of bats. So we'll see. We got the idea to do this about, a year ago. We went to this talk at the local library that by the Vermont Bat, Vermont Bat, well, anyway, they rescue bats and they rehabilitate them, and it's this older couple, and they do it here in our town, in their house, and they rescue bats, they rehabilitate bats, they educate people on bats, they go around and they do these talks, and that's what we went to at the local library. And it made me feel a lot better, because I have always been terrified of bats. Not because they're like creepy or I'm afraid they're gonna get my hair or anything like that, but because they do carry rabies, and I'm terrified of that. So that's why I have run into them on occasion in the barn and been absolutely terrified. Like literally run the other direction. And I love the idea of bats, because they eat the insects, they eat the bugs. I love the idea of them. I really want to help out their populations, but they always scared me. And so going to this talk really made me feel better about it, because, you know, he was saying that bats are really, that the bats that we have around here, at least, the little brown bats and the big brown bats, like the most common ones, are not, their teeth aren't big enough to actually break your skin. And the real danger of contracting rabies from one of them would be if you were to pick it up and you had a break in your skin, like a cut or a scratch, and the bat got its spit in there. That would be where you could possibly get the rabies from. Now, I've also heard stories of people who supposedly have been bitten by bats. I don't know. So, but that's what these bat experts said. So, I'm going to go with it. And, but anyway, so we built this bat house. I'm very excited about it. I hope that, you know, it attracts bats. He put it up just, I think 3 days ago. So I don't think the bats have had time to discover it yet. And hopefully it keeps them over here as opposed to like maybe in our house, which we haven't had that issue. I've had that issue in other houses that I've lived in. We have not had that issue here. But you know, it's nice to give them home outside of our house. But anyway, so that is what I wanted to make a video about today. And if you have, you know, if you are motivated to make one of these bat houses, you don't have to make it as big as we did. Certainly we didn't have to do it as large, but my husband, when he does something, he goes big with it. So so he wanted to do a big one, and you know, you don't have to do them as big. You can find plans for them online. You can just Google bat house and you can get all kinds of different ideas for how to make them. And I think I forgot to mention that I said that it was at least 12 feet off the ground. And the reason why you have to have it at least 12 feet off the ground is because the bats fly out of it. They need that much room to like kind of swoop down, and so they don't hit the ground. Because if a bat hits the ground, they cannot take off from the ground. So basically a bat hitting the ground, and if it's not close enough to like a tree or something that they can climb up and get climb up and be high enough to then take off from there, it's a death sentence for them. And I actually have found dead bats on the ground around here that I think, you know, for one reason or another, fell out of the sky. I guess hard rains can do that. That's what the bat people were saying that we went and saw. So they said that even a hard rain in the middle of the night can knock a bat out of the sky, because they're little. They're like this big. They're teeny tiny, which I didn't entirely realize how small they are. I mean, I've seen them, and when they fly around, they look a lot bigger than you think they are. Or than they look a lot bigger than they actually are. You think they're a lot bigger than they actually are. But anyway, so that is our bat house. I'm really excited about it. I hope that, you know, in the evenings we can come out and we can watch them flying out of it and eating all the bugs, which are flying around me right now and like going up my nose and stuff. So I'm going to end this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, share it, subscribe. If you know anyone else who wants to build a bat house, help out the bat populations, give them a nice, warm, comfy place to live. And it will also help your insect population, or, you know, it'll help, you know, cut down on your insects. So it's a win-win. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you all next week with new videos. Bye.